Excellent, everyone. We have arrived. We have arrived in a circular orbit that's roughly 70,000 by 73,000 kilometers. Now, I thought about it. I did think about it, to where we can launch all 6 pylons simultaneously is sort of a yay, but then I realized that we'd lose track of a few of them, that bad things might occur, that things might start bumping into each other, so I figured although it looked really cool to launch everybody all at the same time, it would probably be in our best interest to do this one at a time. So in order to do that, let's go ahead and just pick a random pod. I think that we'll go ahead and grab this one here. I don't know who's inside. Who's inside of this one? Cobra. Cobra, that's you, buddy. Not happy. Yeah, I can understand that. So let's go ahead and just decouple. Boom. So there goes Cobra. So Cobra is going to be our first victim person. Our first person of interest. Now, we only have so much power, but luckily we do have a solar panel there on the back. Now we are headed in this direction. That's forward. We want to go in reverse, which which is in this direction. So we just want to go ahead and ignite. Not these. We want to ignite these. So we're just going to quick save just in case. You know, just because I want to make sure nothing bugs out on us. Let's go ahead and watch our ship fly by as we ignite these thrusters here. So here we go. Oh, stage locked. Let's fix that. And then here we go. Not sure why that just happened, but Cobra, you may be our first victim. I don't know. For whatever reason, it did not work properly. Are these not working properly? I can't activate them both simultaneously now. Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? And which way are they facing again? They're facing this way, so they're technically facing the wrong way anyway. This is gonna suck. Well, let's see. Where's our ship? Where's our ship? Alright, Cobra, you're out, buddy. I need you to get out really quick, and we're going to head back. Because that didn't... Cobra, out. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, that did not go as planned at all. That was a horrible, horrible, horrible thing. I do not know what happened. So Cobra is going to head back to the ship. We have a space in the main cockpit for at least one more Kerbal. Not sure what happened there with the staging. That was a good test. Thankfully we didn't launch everybody simultaneously. So now we have some debris floating out here, unfortunately. Yeah, I wonder why that happened. That was not a good thing at all. That's really, really weird. I guess we're just going to have to reset the staging because the staging got all screwed up. So Cobra luckily has a seat available for him, so he does not have to worry. Thankfully I used a 3 Kerbal command pod instead of a 2 Kerbal command pod, so we're going to have a little bit of extra weight in this main pod here, but we're okay with that provided everyone survives. Besides, that would have turned out poorly anyway had it worked, because had he ignited those thrusters, they were pointed in the wrong direction. He would have ended up in a higher orbit rather than a lower one, because I had those nodes pointed the wrong way. So that was totally my bad. Alright, climb on in, buddy. Grab. There you go. Alright, board. Now we got to figure out exactly what went wrong there. I do not know what went wrong there. I don't want to try this again until I can figure out what went wrong. Gotta think. That was really our only mess up. That was the only one we can screw up. Anybody else's pod does not work. We end up with a kaboom boom. Crap, this is not good. This is not good at all. We could try again, I suppose. But with who? And with how? Let's go ahead and stage lock really quick, just for safety purposes. Who do we got here? We have Rubik. I don't know if Rubik wants to be our next victim or not, but that would be the safest bet, is to launch Rubik up and see what happens. God, I'd love to test this off camera, but I don't have that choice. So here we go again. Decouple. Boom. Okay, so we're decoupled. That's a start. Now I gotta figure out why that went wrong. Is this why it went wrong? Because the staging was actually off? Let's put an extra stage between these two, just for safety purposes. Let's make sure our nose is pointed in the right direction, which is of course this way, because although it is pointed towards our our nose, if you notice, our thrusters are pointed up. I pointed our thrusters up, so this should be the right direction. So I put an extra node between these two. Shouldn't activate anything without activating anything. So let's go ahead and try that. There we go, that's better. And done. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And there goes all of our stuff. There goes all of our guys. Okay, so yeah, our first attempt did not function well. I think the system kind of lied to us a little bit there with that initial... When we launched off, it said that the nodes were... Or did I read it wrong? I don't know. I'll have to review the video whether I read it wrong or not. I don't think I did. But at the same time, I don't know. I may have read it completely incorrectly and gotten everybody almost dead. Alright, how's our solar panel doing? Getting a little bit of energy flow, which is good. Our burn node... Whew. Yeah, our burn node should be fine, so we should be fine. We should be fine. We can get rid of that for now. And we're going to start burning in. So let's just go ahead and let our buddy pal here burn his way in. Now we could do this for everybody, but once again, as I said, once we start getting lower down, it becomes sort of an issue with switching from ship to ship, and because of that, it's going to be kind of a pain in the butt. I may even cut the video between switches, because the more often I switch between ships, the harder it becomes for the switch to load, is basically how it works. So the physics engine starts kind of being buggy, the game starts being buggy, so I make quick save and then load, like pause the video and then load, and so we can launch the next one and the next one and the next one. And I'll bring you guys down for all of them, well, at least for the biggest parts, the best parts, to keep the video short, but also to make sure everybody knows that they made it down safe. But this is going to be our first one, of course, since everybody's still up there waiting their turn. Not too terrible, of course, not too terrible at all. I think we should be low enough to where orbit... Yeah, we're now in physical time acceleration, so that'll be our first gig. I think we're low enough to not skim. That was not a good idea. I don't know why I did that. To not skim. But I honestly don't know. I think we are. It says that we're out of orbit, and that should have been more than enough to burn us down. We are in a low enough orbit, so it should be okay. We should be okay. But, you know, more than anything, I'm supposing that... Please tell me this cockpit isn't empty. Okay, Rubik. Why does Rubik does not have a thing down here? I don't understand that, but whatever. See, once again, this is why I'm like not trusting these mods and stuff, because this is all stock part. Everything on here is stock part. Well, no, I lie. The heat shield is not, but you know, I don't have his picture down here, so it's like he's not even there, even though he is inside. It says he is inside here. Yeah, it says Rubik Frogman right there. I guess we could look inside, right? Yeah. So he's here, he's alive, he's good to go. It's just his portrait's not down there. I don't know. Stuff like that starts to bug, you know. It starts to get in your head, and you think to yourself, I wonder if things are screwed up, but they're not. All right, we're coming down. Now everybody upstairs should have enough O2 not to be a problem. I don't believe O2 scrubbers turn off. Is this O2 scrubber fine? Yeah, is those O2 scrubbers still on? Yeah, I don't believe O2 scrubbers turn off when you leave a vessel, only when you load, like when you quit the game and then load it, or if you reload a quick save. I think are the only two reasons why a scrubber turns off. Now, luckily for us, the scrubber, the oxygen converter, does not have that auto off feature, so it remains on no matter what. So luckily, everybody in the bubble is still alive. I haven't had to check on them for a while. We should, though. We should, after all this, especially with how long it took us to get back to Kerbin from there. And I'm wondering if maybe we should bring the bubble down. That's the next thing. You guys can go ahead and throw out a vote. I know that that a couple of people asked me to take it to Duna. That is not going to happen because I moved a space station between Kerbin and the moon, and that was not fun. I am not going to do that between Kerbal and Duna. Everything that goes to Duna will be built to go to Duna. The bubble was built to test out the oxygen rig in orbit. It did a great job. It's doing a great job, actually. But I'm pretty sure the guys that are in there would like very much to be part of something bigger, and I don't blame them for that. And so for that reason, if you guys want to go ahead and throw out a vote and say bring it down, or at least bring the crew down, that's fine. If not, I'll say this, I'll take the votes of people who say bring the crew down, who are part of the crew, as higher votes than anybody else, because you guys are the ones who are, of course, stuck on the spaceship, or space station. So, Yeah, so just a big heads up for you guys if you're watching, of course, that I have not forgotten you. I have not forgotten you, but it has been a long test. You guys have been up there for a few years. The oxygen scrubber is working well beyond what I thought it would do, which is great. But you guys can go ahead and tell me whether or not you want me to bring you down, or whether or not you like it up there. No guarantee that you'll go to another planet, though. So remember that. I will be selecting crew members who have not gone to other planets or who have not flown before, minus, of course, the 8 crew members here who went to Minmus and unfortunately were not able to complete their mission due to my choice, not theirs. Now, hopefully we slow down a little bit more before we burn up. I'm hoping our ablative coating survives. So the ablative shielding has started to burn out, which is okay. Of course, I'm going to turn that off because it's holding us in position, and this thing is aerodynamically sound, which is great. I love this design because it is aerodynamic, so you can just, if you turn off the stabilizer, it will come down at a proper angle, and that's what's really great about these pods. That's why I chose these pods over Kerbal can or anything else, because I wanted to make sure you guys came down in one piece, or at least as much as one piece as I can provide you. This is probably the safest way any of you can come down onto Kerbin without burning up. So very super important there. Now these may blow off. I don't know. There is a possibility that they may explode outwards because they are catching heat. Are they catching heat? Thrust, flame, surface temperature 28 degrees Celsius. So they're not catching heat. The heat shield seems to be protecting them, which is great. Hey, look, check it out. There's the moon. Alright. So we're coming in pretty hot, pretty heavy, pretty good. We're at 392, not bad at all. We're still a little fast, so we are catching a little bit of the Mach physics here, as you can see. I would like that speed to come way down before we deploy our parachutes. I do not know where any of you are going to land, but I think before I recover all of you, I will be bringing everybody down, because there's enough oxygen in this canister. Yeah, there's enough O2 in these canisters for you to survive without too much difficulty, so I'm not too concerned there. I would very much like our speed to drop to about 300 meters per second before I launch that parachute, though. I'm not really concerned about the heat shield, so let's go ahead and do that. Because the heat shield, the decoupler for the heat shield does not work anyway. I don't know why. It's supposed to, but it don't. Okay, for whatever reason, the parachute was not igniting, and I was getting a little bit nervous. And I just want that parachute to open. And once the parachute opens, we may be able to switch to another vessel. Hopefully. I don't know. We may want to wait until they hit the ground. If so, once again, we will be waiting until the parachute opens, and then I'll be cutting the video for you guys. Because unless one of you doesn't make it to the ground, there shouldn't be any reason to show every splashdown. Unless you guys really want me to, but at this point, it's too late in the video for you to take a vote. I do apologize, but that's just the way things are. Although we are dropping at 113 meters per second, which does make me a little bit nervous when that parachute opens, but since we are at sea level and we do have a few hundred meters to go before it triggers, we should be relatively okay. Yeah, 98 meters, we should be okay. If not, oop. Okay, so first of our 8 Kerbals is down. Our down is down. So thankfully, Rubik Frogman has made it, per se, to the ground. Once again, not going to worry about the last 300 feet for you guys, so I'm going to go ahead and cut the video here, and I will see you guys in orbit for our next crew member. So I'll see you there. Alright, so first Kerbal's down, next Kerbal to go. Who's next? Let's see. We have Dookie! Dookie, you're next, I suppose. So let's go ahead and... well, we're going to the dark side of Kerbin. We are, but it shouldn't be a problem. Shouldn't be a problem. Oh, no. Should not. Don't know. Might be a problem. With only a 50 electrical power, I am concerned. So, we have enough O2? Should have more than enough O2, right? Yeah, so we're going to wait until we come to the other side of Kerbin, I think, for safety purposes. We may launch 2, I think. Once sunrise comes up, we're going to launch 2, I believe, would be the best bet. And the reason for that, of course, is because I really don't want... not 2 simultaneously, mind you, but I really don't want to be launching Kerbals into the darkness without the ability to open their parachute. That would be very, very annoying for everybody involved. Especially if one of you didn't make it to the ground safely. So with Rubik on the ground, he should have more than enough O2 to be fine, to be safe. These are these still working? Carbon dioxide? Nope, carbon dioxide is building. That's not a good thing. So I may have to recover. Where is carbon dioxide building? Activates carbon. Oh, so it does, when you do switch out a vessel, it does cause a problem. So we should get these guys on the ground as quickly as possible, and we will have to start recovering vessels quickly, unfortunately, because I can't be turning on and off oxygen scrubbers for 6 different vessels each time we have to switch back to the main one. So I will be recovering those off camera, of course, once they make it to the ground, just so you guys know. There's no reason not to. There's no reason to show that, of course, because it's not that super spectacular, I don't believe, but that's me. So let's go ahead and get to the bright side of Kerbin. Super duper special, super important. And we'll have about 20 minutes before it's dark side again, which is good for us. We have a lot of O2 left. We use about 500 getting here. That's a lot, but we do have 8 Kerbals. Kind of gives us an indication of what it'll take to get to other planets, of course, because we aren't going to take just 1 or 2 Kerbals. Didn't take that much to get to the moon, but the distance between here and the moon and here in Minmus is not that big. But at the same time, it still created such a huge difference in the amount of O2 we were using, to the point where I was almost afraid that the Proteus wouldn't make it into orbit safely. Out to Minmus. Excuse me. I didn't think it would make it out to Minmus safely. It kind of made me nervous a little bit, because I was afraid that that might be a possibility, that it would not make it out there. I wonder if we can do 1 Kerbal per day. That'd be weird, but that's okay. So who's next? Was Dookie Holiday, right? That was our next guy, our next crew member. Yep, Dookie. So you're the next dude. Let's go ahead and launch you out there into space. Boom! There you go, buddy. And let's just switch up. That's a dead pod, I believe. Yes, that's the dead pod. Alright, so this one's lined up properly too. I don't know. Maybe I wasn't paying attention, but no, that doesn't make sense either, because the ship, the thrusters didn't fire. Had it been an error on my part, the thrusters would have fired, right? That's the idea, I think. I don't know. To me, that would make sense. Okay, so we want to head this way. We want our thrusters to burn that way, so that should be right. So let's go ahead and just burn our thrusters. And done. So there we go. And I really do want to try out the idea of launching 2 of you simultaneously, but I am really nervous about catching both of you. And I really don't want, well, you know what? Let's give it a shot. I know it's crazy. I'm going to volunteer Iron. Orion, you're going to be our volunteer when it comes to too close to the other 2, I think. Graham, you're going to be our volunteer. So Graham, if you'd decouple, please. Thank you, Graham. Oh, so yeah, now Graham's working. See, this has some bugs to it that make me really nervous about the way it works. So let's go ahead and rotate over, and once again, we just want to thrust in that direction. Alright, so there's 2 now. We're going to try for 2. Crazy as that may sound, we're going to try for 2. Now this should have enough light on it, does it? It does not. We need light on this so that we have power. That's super duper important for now. Okay, so there's some light. We'll turn that off, and then we want to switch back to... Is this piloted? This is not our piloted one, is it? Nope, this is our empty one. Where is our piloted one? Graham. Okay, there's Graham. There's our ship. We seem to have lost... Yeah, this is the problem I was having before. We seem to have lost our buddy pal. Which one are we looking for? This one, right? So this is the reason I really didn't want to do 2 or 3 at the same time, but I did want to try it out. So there's Dookie. Okay, Dookie's okay. Dookie, do you have power, buddy? Are you getting enough... You're not getting any power. That was the issue I was having with him, is I was concerned that he was not getting any power either. Fine. Whichever way this thing will... There it is. Whichever way it'll roll to get us what we need, which is, of course, power. Okay. So he's going to come in ahead of Graham, but not by very much. Probably by about a minute or so, because there's Graham there, I think. Yeah. And then there's the main ship, I think. No, there's the main ship. There's Graham. There's our empty container. I think that's how that works. I'm pretty sure that's how that works. So we now have this kind of a streak going on here, but we did launch 2, and I did want to launch 2 for the safety purposes. Is that a lake down there? Pretty interesting. It's a lake, but it's all bright and shiny. Ooh, maybe it's a new form of something. No, it's probably just a lake, but it's just really lit up around the edges for some reason. Sunlight or something, the way the sun's hitting it. But it does look pretty weird. Yeah, because this one's got the same thing, and it's a little bit of water, and I think that's the same thing there. So it's a weird, not I won't say it's a glitch, but it's a weird visual thing with the ships, or with the ships. It's a weird visual thing with the way everything's set up. So let's turn that back on really quick, and we should have enough light now. Yes, 0.08. Yeah, it's almost enough anyway. Almost enough. So the sun's not high enough for us to be concerned. Although as we progress, that should go up. It should go up. Not quickly, mind you, but it should go up. So well, let's just rotate ourselves that way a little bit, and we'll just hold position here, and that should be fine. Okay, we're going to start coming down, and we'll monitor our other Kerbals while we come down. They're going to remain a little bit higher than us, I think, unless, you know, that might be Graham right there, because he's directly above us, and these two are basically orbiting almost exactly. So I think that's Graham, in all honesty. How we doing there, buddy? There we go. Just want to keep that that dial there on the sun, so that we don't miss it out. We don't mess it up. It's very important. You know what? Now that these two are so close together, they should be the ones that we're concerned with when we switch over. I hope. I don't know. I would like to switch back to no nearby objects to focus. Yeah, so he's too far away. So unfortunately, Graham is too far away for us. I think that's Minmus there, that little blinky thing. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's a little blinky, flibbery doodad that's not a background star right there. I think that's Minmus. I think it's Minmus. I know you can see like excuse me. I know you can see Duna and Jewel and basically every other planet against the backdrop if you look very, very carefully, which is really interesting that everything is still rendered in full, even if it doesn't technically need to be. You know what? This is really dangerous what we're doing here. I want to give you guys a heads up on that. This is extremely dangerous what we're doing here, because we could honestly be killing at least one of these people, one of these Kerbals. And I know I volunteered you guys without your permission, but you know what? You put your life in my hands, you get weird stuff like that. It can't be helped. So even though now I'm like really nervous about fast forwarding the game, because I don't know how that'll affect both pods coming in and whatnot. And that makes me a little bit nervous that that's a thing, you know. But it looks like we'll only get one pod per day, per Kerbal day. Or, well, it's basically once every half hour, but it's still per Kerbal day, technically. Because we'll only have one to come in each solar, like, cycle, I guess. I don't know how to explain it, but basically you guys know what I mean. Every time the sun is on this side of Kerbal, it's how we're going to be landing. But after these two landings, I am going to recollect Dookie and Graham and Rubik and take them all back to KSC so that they don't have to worry about O2. And then we will launch the remaining pods as well. And of course, I do apologize if you guys get bored with this, but I did tell you I would make sure that you guys are safe. If you guys trust me, I can bring everybody down. I was saving the big pod for the big finale. Of course, and we could probably do that one instead. So I may do that. I may just bring down everybody else, and provided that no one has an issue of any kind, just do that on my own time, so that you guys don't have to be, you don't have to worry about the flight and everything else. You can just watch the fireworks and the last big hurrah. Well, that's just my opinion. I don't know. I want to save you guys time, because this is sort of exciting, but at the same time kind of boring at the same time, because we know these pods work. We tested the first one works. We're doing a dual test, which we know is not 100%. It's not something we should do a lot. I am really worried about him, honestly, to the point where I almost want to go up there and like switch to. Let's see if we should. Yeah, he cannot switch to vessels while in atmosphere. Really? Oh, that's not good. Graham, you may die, buddy. Alright, well, hopefully not. I hope he'll be fine coming in, because I think I left his SAS on. Well, worst comes to worst, we have a dead Kerbal on our hand. Good luck, Graham. Yeah, I did not know that you could not do that. That's upsetting. Very, 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 very upsetting. Because without the ability to check on Graham, I don't know if he's burning up in the atmosphere or not. I'm hoping he's not. I really am hoping he's not. But at the same time, we don't have much time to check. And that's going to be a really big issue when we try to bring him down. Okay. Wow, okay, so Graham may be dead. I feel very bad if I just killed Graham, I really would. But I did not know you could not switch vessels while in atmosphere. That's upsetting as all crap. Gotta think. Well, we can bring Dookie down a little bit harder than others to try to get back to Graham more quickly. And to do that, the way we'd have to do that is we'd have to let him fall pretty close to the ground before we open our parachute. So we may kill Dookie and Graham with what I'm about to try. Because I do not want our parachute open until we absolutely have to have it open. Just because I don't want our descent slowed too much. So, once again, I was talking about how boring this is, and now it's gotten super exciting again, because right at this moment, while Dookie's screaming about almost hitting the ground without a parachute, Graham may be burning up in the atmosphere. I wasn't really thinking this, was I? You know what? I don't know how close you actually are to the ground. Now that I think about it, Dookie, you may be, like, really, really, really close to the ground. Like, smashing close, honestly. That's kind of an upsetting thought, isn't it? Yeah, you're not 500 meters anyway. But that should do it. Whoa, okay. Can we switch now? Can we please switch before Dookie dies? I think Dookie's dead. Oh, dear God. No, that's splashdown. Where's... Oh, crap. Graham, I think you died, buddy. Yeah. Our first Kerbal death, everybody. Graham Xavier. I want to pronounce that properly. He did get on me on that about pronouncing it. It's very difficult for me to pronounce that name properly, but in this case, I do need to pronounce it properly in respect for the dead. So Graham, unfortunately, did not make it back to Kerbal safely. That is all on me. That was an experiment that went horribly, horribly wrong. Yeah, that's on me. Okay, now that Dookie's on the ground and relatively safe, I'm going to switch over to KSC. I'm going to grab him and Rubik, and then we're going to head back up. I'm going to bring everybody else back down, and then I'll save the big finale for the big rocket, because we do have to bring everybody down now one at a time. Unfortunately, I'm feeling really bad about Graham. Really bad about Graham. That wasn't even a game crash issue. It was me being stupid. But yeah, I'll see you guys back at KSC for something very special that I was hoping I would not have to do. But now with Graham gone, we are going to have to do it. So I'll see you guys back at the KSC. Or, well, I'll see you guys back up in orbit with the main pod, and then I'll see you guys back at KSC. So I'll see you there. Alright, everyone, it's time for our last burn-in. Now, because we have enough fuel in this ship, I think we're just going to go ahead and burn the whole thing out. Now, if you notice, we do have... The sun is going down, but it should not be going down fast enough to be an issue at this point. And so we're just going to go ahead and do a burn here to bring ourselves down. And it's just going to be as simple as that. I really have nothing to say about our loss of Graham, unfortunately. Not because it... I don't think there's really anything I can say other than, oops, my bad. Really, I really do apologize for that. That's... it was terrible. It really was terrible. And there goes a shop ship. There goes our last little bit of debris. Our one ship that didn't make it, because Cobra, of course, is inside here now. But yeah, I really can't say anything about our loss of Graham, and I feel really bad about that, honestly. But as I said, there's really not much I can say at this point, because I don't know. I don't know. I got something special planned. I did have... I didn't believe that I would go all this time without injuring at least one Kerbal, honestly speaking. So I do have a plan, and we will get to that, of course, once we bring Bread Boy, Major Tom, and Cobra down safely. And we're going to go ahead and do that now. I wonder if we should bring it in a little bit steeper, now that I'm thinking about it, just for the purposes of safety, because the sun is going down, and the only thing we have working for us at this point is this solar panel, and that's it. And if the sun goes down too soon, we may end up losing daylight, and that would not be good for anybody involved. So let's go ahead and slow ourselves down a little bit more, just in case, just for fun, just for whatever. Now our current altitude is 68,000, so let's rotate up. Let's rotate up, and we're going to manually jettison this pod, I think. We're not going to, I'm not going to mess with this crap here on the side. We're just going to manually jettison the pod, so let's go ahead and do that. We will do that like so. Boom. Alright, perfect. Alright, now we are separated, and we do have a heat shield, I believe. Yes, we do have a heat shield. Oh, thankfully. Whoa, 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 whoa. Alright, let's go ahead and lock ourselves in really quick, just for safety purposes. As I said, the only thing we have is this, which is not getting a lot of sunlight. Let's rotate, and that, hey, there we go. That should get, oh, like a 0.54. Perfect. A lot of sunlight, which is great. So yeah, this is the one pod that we're not 100% sure of. I'm not going to launch those 3 thrusters because, of course, they're pointed in the exact wrong direction, and they will get us dead if we're not cautious. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and flip these around. There we go. And that's just for safety purposes. So yeah, the sun is going down, but it shouldn't cause us too much of an issue. And if nothing else, I can rotate the pod around once we become vertical rather than our current horizontal axis. So we'll see how that works. Hopefully it works. I don't know. How's our power? Our electricity is 150 of 150. That's helpful. Okay, so let's go ahead and just speed up time a little bit, just for whatevers. Our ablative coating, of course, is already going down a little bit. We'll turn that off, I think. Yeah, so we'll start catching air now a little bit. And that means our solar panel is going to start running low on power. So we have to be cautious about that. But I'm not too concerned. As I said, we should have more than enough. We have enough power going down. We have 150, which is fine. It's not too terrible. And if nothing else, we can ignite the parachute early if we have to. Not too early, I hope, especially with the burn-in and the fire and everything else, but early if need be. Should have waited till the other side of the planet, I know. I know, I keep doing all these experiments and I'm putting your guys' lives in danger by doing it, but yeah, that's just the way it seems to go with me from time to time, I guess. I try very hard not to do too many experiments, but, you know, sometimes you just gotta say, screw it, let's find out how this works. And this is unfortunately one of those times. So we're not using any power, which is great. So even though this thing is about to start not generating power, we're already at 32,000 feet. We should start seeing our burn-in. There's our main body there going goodbye-bye. Should already be burning in on top of us. I do not know what that is. Debris. Oh, that's our docking clamp, so that's coming in underneath us as well. Okay, here we go. So we have our ablative coating. It's starting to burn down. We should be seeing no heat increase on any of our parts here. Temperature 82 degrees, temperature 31 degrees. So yeah, we should be fine. So we're doing okay. Hopefully the ablative coating holds. Looks like it's negative at about 9 per second, 10 per second. Oof, it's going to be a heavy burn. This pod is rather heavy in comparison to the other ones, but we'll see how that works for us. If those thrusters were pointed in the right direction, I'd probably feel a little bit better about that parachute. I'm used to using the long side parachutes, not the big tall top one. So we'll have to see how that works. So we're at 17,000 feet, which is nice. Electrical charge, ablative coating. Our electrical charge is starting to go down a little bit, but not very quickly at all, which is good. We are at 1 time speed, right? Oh, we're losing speed like crazy, aren't we? That's good to know. Sun has gone over the horizon, so no matter what, we're not going to get any light or any power from it. I don't know how. That is not what I wanted. Okay, luckily that didn't hurt us too bad, but deploy shoot. I don't know what happened there. Luckily I could right click and deploy shoot. Don't know what happened there. Just game, man. The game's just being so weird lately. Oh, please don't hit us, debris. I'd feel really bad. So that's 2.2 kilometers. I think our other debris went south for the winter. I don't know if you guys can see it, but we are hitting water, so our current height is exactly at sea level, so our current meters is right. So you should see that splash down in a couple of seconds here, because it should be roughly I don't know, about 200 meters off the water at this point, and it should hit any moment now, or not. I know it's coming. I can see it. I can't calculate based on the waves exactly how high off the water it is. Did we ignite Oh, our parachute ignited high, didn't it? Yeah, and then that already hit the water, so we missed that. Okay, so we're going to be coming down. It looks like we're fine. Parachute worked perfectly. It didn't break off. It didn't shatter. It didn't do none of that, any of that. So, provided nothing happens between here and the water, and it's going to be a fairly long fall, even at 20 meters per second. Provided nothing happens, we should be fine when we hit the water. And because of that, we're going to go ahead and pause here, and then I will see you guys back at the KSC for a very special extension on this particular video. So I will see you guys there. Alright everyone, here we are back at the KSC, and as you can see I have put together a small, I guess you could say hearse, a small Kerbal hearse style vehicle for the purpose of performing a memorial for our lost compatriots, and in this case it would be Graham Xavier. And so one of the things I did add, of course, was the two little engines, just for fun. They won't burn for very long, but they're there just because. And I've already figured out a place to do the memorial, and we're going to do it over here by the crew. I guess the what's the building called again? Basically, the personnel facility is where we're going to do it. There's lots of places you can plant flags that seem pretty appropriate, but at the same time they seem pretty inappropriate, because if you were to be flying an experimental aircraft or a spaceship, the last thing you want to see upon takeoff is a memorial flag to other people who have gone before you. So it's completely understandable that maybe we should put it somewhere a little bit more out of sight for would-be pilots, but a little bit more insight for people. Well, you know what? Honestly, I was going to put it over there, but we do have the Mark II. Let's take a look over here really quick. We may change our location. I don't expect that we'll need a lot of places to plant a flag, but we do have a memorial for the Mark II right here, don't we? And I guess we should put some of the, other memorials near the same memorials, right? So, here we are by the memorial for the Mark II. Now, what's also interesting about this is I have brought 3 Kerman with us, and if you were wondering which 3 Kerman we brought with us, we have Major Tom, we have Bread Boy, then we have Bob. And the reason why we have Major Tom, Bread Boy, and Bob is because Major Tom and Bread Boy were, of course, the commander and co-commander of that particular flight, the flight where Graham was lost, and Bob is the only main Kerman left. Bill and Jeb are stuck on Minmus, if you guys remember, because they're part of an invisible cockpit that I forgot they were in. But they're still stuck up there, and because of that, Bob's going to go ahead and he's going to plant our flag. I created a flag specifically for the purpose of creating a memorial. So I think, well, they have a nice little walkway here, and that looks like a perfect place to plant a flag. So I'm not sure which way Bob's going to aim this. I'd like to think that he aims it the way I want him to, but if he doesn't, that's his choice. Now, I set both the original launch platform and this to a very specific flag. If it doesn't come out as that flag, I'm going to be kind of upset. Okay, so he's going to do a 180, and it should be the correct flag. Yes. So this is our flag. And we're going to call this MIA Graham, and I gotta make sure I spelled this properly. I do apologize. I did write this down. I do want to spell Graham's name right, and I did not. Graham Xavier. And I'm going to say, in the memory? Yeah, in the memory of Graham Xavier, who went MIA upon re-entry into Kerbal atmosphere. And it was also say his sacrifice to spaceflight will not be forgotten. And there it is. So there's Graham. There's our flag. So this is our memorial flag. I'm not sure if you guys saw it, maybe the flag pop-ups that I showed you or not, but this is our memorial flag. It's maybe a little bit comedic for a memorial flag, but at the time I thought it is pretty handy. I mean, it made sense. The idea made sense. So there is our first memorial flag, unfortunately. So Graham is currently MIA. And the reason why I say MIA is because I did take a look in the personnel facility, and when I took a look at the personnel facility, it actually says MIA, missing in action. It doesn't say dead, it just says missing in action. So because of that, I decided that we would all be, just say missing in action. So this is going to be our flag zone. Hopefully it does not fill up with too many more Kerbals. Although we do have Rest in Peace Mark 1 pod 2011 to 2012, so, But in any case, I think we're going to go ahead and pause here on that rather sad note. So for now, I would like to thank you all very much for joining me, 4KB Short, on this Let's Play of Kerbal Space Program with Kerbal Space Adventures. And in our next upcoming sets, we will be, of course, returning to our trip to Duna, on a more direct route, I believe. I have to design a way to get there, but I have a few ideas in my mind, and they're all very basic, and hopefully they'll work out for us, and we won't have any more casualties of spaceflight. So, as I said, I would like to thank you all very much for joining me, and I will see you next video.